purpose of the trip for me was to try and identify critical habitat for some of these dolphin species. Little's known about them in the Pilbara. So the bottlenose dolphins are quite abundant in the area, but the humpback dolphins are lower in number. And they're the ones that we're really interested in, as well as the snubfin dolphins. So they're mainly found in the Kimberley and actually not in the Pilbara at all. As far as we know, there's no viable populations in the Pilbara. So we think that the snubfin dolphins that we see in the Pilbara are probably just occasional visitors to the area. And yeah, we were lucky enough to see them on this survey. So we saw a couple down the bottom of Exmouth Gulf and then another one up at Dampier Archipelago, which was really exciting. I was lucky enough that they were actually on my side of the plane. And to begin with, I actually wasn't sure what I had seen. So my initial call was of a dolphin. I saw the blowhole, but then I kind of second guessed myself and thought that perhaps it was a dugong, but it was confirmed by the front seat observer that it actually was a snubfin dolphin. And probably the other highlight for me were the big herds of dugongs. So it tends to be in the Pilbara that dugongs are quite sparse and spread out and they don't tend to form big herds, but we saw a couple of big herds, one around the Great Sandy Islands where there was about 50. You could see the big feeding plumes behind them, and also in the bottom of the Gulf, which is really heartening to see that the seagrass is actually recovering in Exmouth Gulf.
One of the highlights for me was probably like even the first day. I was super nervous, having never done anything like that before, and thought, oh, I'm going to stuff this up and I'll get it right. But the girls were really supportive, and we did some training flights early on, and I was getting everything spot on, exactly what everyone was seeing. So I was feeling really chuffed and making some early calls. We had to, if we saw a pod where we thought there was more than 6 dolphins, we'd circle back to get exact numbers on them. So there was a couple of times really early on where I said, I think there's more than 6 there, and we circled back around on them, and I'd be super proud of myself, and there was like 12. Yeah, it was great.
So we've actually managed to get an abundance estimate for bottlenose dolphins, and we're just working up an abundance estimate at the moment, so population size for humpback dolphins. We're still looking at the habitat, and we'll do some habitat modelling to look at those hotspots of where they're doing activities such as like breeding and feeding, so that critical habitat. And yeah, really there's no baseline that exists in this area, so any information that we come up with is new and fundamental.
I think it's just exciting to me answering the question. We spent a lot of time planning out how we do this to answer such an unusual question, like where are the dolphins and what are they doing? It's not something that people even know how to answer. So where do you start, with planes or with boats? How do you find them and watch them and know what to do? So while I'm not a dolphin expert, the challenge of that question was really exciting to me.